How confident are you all confident on browser methods? So what are all browser methods? What are all browser methods?
Browser methods have it.
Anyhow, let's move on to the next one. So I want to explain switch to methods. So what are the switch to methods? We have seen browser methods. Next we have so here you can find all the methods, browser methods. Next we have a switch to methods. So what are these switch to methods? Switch to means you are moving from current page to other page, other window or page, other window basically, other window or other tab, or one frame to another frame, or current page to alert windows. So if you want to switch, you need to use a switch to method. So switch to method, basically it moves the cursor to a specified window or a specified frame or specified alerts. Where you want to go, you need to tell very clearly, yeah, switch to that. Switch to that alert or window or so frame, anything. So where you want to go. So first, how can you switch to the window? How can you switch to the window? If you want to switch to the window, see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows are there. But which window you want to go? How do you know? First step is you need to get the each window ID. How can you get all the window IDs? How can you fetch all window IDs?
Get window handles.
Get window handles method you need to call, right? Get window handles method you have to call. So get window handles method first you have to call. What is the syntax of get window handles? Set angular braces string collection name equal to driver dot get window handles. That will fetch all these window IDs into the collection. In the collection, you have all window IDs. Now you extract each window ID either by iterator method or by for each loop or whatever it is. Iterators you have to use to get the each window IDs. Then you need to call this method. So then which window you want to go? So then you have to clearly call this method. First those methods. String PID equal to driver dot get window handle. That will give the current window ID. That means parent window ID. Second, if you have multiple windows are already opened, then you need to call set angular bracket string handles equal to driver dot get window handles method. Then extract the each window ID Then you call this method, switch to method. Now you want to go to particular window, right? Then you call this method, driver dot, that means browser. From this browser to, you're switching to this window. See how meaningful this one. You are switching to window, this window. You're passing the parameter value for the window method. That means you are telling which window you want to switch from current window. That's a driver dot switch to method dot window method of the window reference you pass. That's how to switch to particular window or tab. So this is the one, if anybody asks you, how can you switch to the windows, means first you have to tell, get the parent window ID using get window handle method. So what is the syntax? String PID equal to driver dot get window handle. I already discussed this. Again, I'm repeating that. Still people are not clear on that. Let me repeat one more time. How can you get the current window ID? String PID equal to driver dot get window handle. For example, multiple windows are opened or multiple tabs are opened like this by WebDriver, not by you, by WebDriver. WebDriver opened multiple new windows or multiple tabs. Then you want to get all these window IDs. Then what is the method you need to call?
Get window handles.
Get window handle.
Get window handles method. What is the syntax? Set angular bracket string handles collection name equal to driver dot get window handles. After this, you extract each window ID, which window you want. You know the parent window. You get the child window IDs. All the child window IDs are in the set collection. Either you can use a iterator method or you can use a for each loop. Then you call this method. So then while switching to window, for example, I am in the current this window, Ramesh Key automation platform window. I want to go to register account. I will pass here register account reference ID. So that's the how the cursor will move to here automatically. Once you call this line of code, what this line of code will do? From this Ramesh Key automation platform tab to register account window, it will go. Cursor will come here. That is the meaning of this switch to method. Okay, is it clear? Next, how can you switch to the frames? There are frames in the web page. Normal frames will be there, internal frames will be there. Two types of frames will be there in the web pages. If you want to switch to the frames, there are three methods. One method only, but three arguments you are passing. One is driver dot switch to method dot frame of string frame locator. That means that frame has some ID, name, or class values. Those values you pass as an argument for this frame method. Then it will switch from current window in that frame inside. That frame inside any element, if you want to identify, you should first identify that frame. You give the frame locator. Or you want to switch based on the index. Then this is the one. Driver dot switch to method dot frame of int index. You can switch to that frame based on the index number also. For example, you have multiple frames. You can give index number of that frame. 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. That's integer values, right? You can pass integer, or you can pass for frame method string value, or you can pass for a frame method integer index, or you can pass for a frame method web element also you can pass. So what you call this? So I explained this. This is the frame method, but different argument, different parameter list. So what kind of OOPS concept is this?
Method overriding.
No.
Hmm?
Method overloading.
Method overriding means what, madam? Method overriding means parameter must be same, right? But here parameters are different. Method name is same, but parameters are different. That's a method overloading concept. Method name is same, but parameter data type is different here. Single parameter only, but data type is different. First parameter data type is a string data type. Second parameter data type is a integer. Third parameter data type is a web element interface. So this is all method overloading it is following. Frame method is following method overloading concept. Okay, so this is how to switch to the frames. Any one of them you can use. Three types of frame methods. Any one you can use to switch to the frames. Why you need to switch to the frames? Frame inside any element if you want to identify. Selenium directly cannot recognize. First you have to switch to the frame, then it will recognize. Otherwise Selenium doesn't understand. Okay, make sure if there are frame tags or iframe tags, first switch to that frame, either iframe or normal frame. Then you can identify that a frame inside elements. Okay. Next, last one. How can you switch to the alerts? How can you switch to the alerts? So how can you switch to the alerts? Alerts are three types: simple alert, prompt alert, confirmation dialog box alert. Any of these three alerts are appearing, you want to switch to that alert dialog window, then this is the simple line of code. So you are in this current window, you got a simple alert or a confirmation dialog box or a prompt dialog box. How can you switch to that dialog box? Your cursor, how can you move your cursor to that dialog box? This is the line of code. Alert, interface, that reference of object equal to driver dot switch to method dot alert. See, very meaningful. And driver means current page. That page you are moving, switching to this alert. That means which alert is there on the web page. It is switching to that alert. So here alert is on the right hand side, left hand side. It's an interface. Interface, that reference variable. So this method is returning alert interface. So, but these are not returning anything, but these are void methods. Frame, window methods are void methods, but this alert method is returning alert object, alert interface object. Okay, so these are the switch to methods, very simple methods. So browser methods you are directly applying on the driver, but switch to methods, first driver, then switch to, then your methods. The method chaining is happening here. Switch to, then method. So these are the different switch to methods. Any questions? Well, program time I'll explain, but first theoretically I'm covering them. And so we'll see all the scenarios. How to switch to the frames, how to switch to the Windows, how to switch to the alerts, all programs we are going to write. So don't worry. But first you have to read. All these methods should be in your mind with the syntaxes. The meaning and syntax must be in your mind. That will come by reading continuously every day from beginning to till end, whatever we covered. First, browser methods you read. Then switch to methods you read. Every day you read. Don't give up. One day also. So yesterday it took half an hour. Tomorrow it didn't take. It is not going to take half an hour. Just 5 minutes or 2 minutes enough for So recollecting. People who are not doing this, they're going to fail. Definitely, because you're learning newly. If you just recollect them, yesterday how much effort you put, and you are not reading till 1 week or 10 days, and you will forget them, obviously. So instead of that, either you use them in the program or you recollect them every day, or while sleeping time, before going to bed, or whether you are single, you just relaxing time, just remember the methods, the definition and syntax. So these are the predefined methods. It's not going to change again. If you know the definition, then you can apply the method in that scenario. If you don't know the definition of that method, purpose of that method, you cannot use that methods. Many people fails at that case only. So I haven't seen people following this structure, reading every day, say from beginning to till end again. That's up to you. I'm saying if you can remember, that's fine. You don't need to read every day. Okay. So the third category is navigation methods. So we have seen browser methods, switch to methods, now navigation methods. So what is this navigate method? It's an abstraction. Basically, it gives a facility to the browser to access the browser's history back and forward, and you can refresh, or you can navigate to different URL from current URL. So all these things you can do with the navigate method. So the first method is to, you have to chain after this method, only these methods, whatever we are going to discuss now. Like how we chain the switch to method. Switch to method is chained by window method, frame method, alert method. Now here navigate method is chained by many methods. So what are all those things? Let's see. So to of URL, to of, many people are saying to URL. That's wrong. To of, this bracket is there, of. Even get of URL, you have to say, you're all telling get URL. That's wrong. Okay. So this is a parenthesis, get of URL. So it will navigate to the given URL from current page. Now you're in this URL. You want to navigate to different URL and call this driver dot navigate method dot to of http google.com. If I type and if I write this line, this will replace with the google.com page. That's the driver dot navigate method dot to of URL will do. Sir, what is then get of URL is doing? Get of URL also doing the same. It will just open the URL. Application URL will be open in the browser. Address bar, it will type and it will open URL to you. Web page will be loaded to you. But then driver.navigate.to of URL, what it will do? This also will do the same. So it will open a given URL, it will navigate. It will navigate to this. Now currently you are in this Ramesh Key automation platform, but it will navigate to google.com if you call this line of code. Then you will get a browser's history. See this browser back button, forward button, refresh icons. You want to do actions on this browser icons, then this navigate methods will help you. So there is a method, one more back method. For example, you want to navigate to previous page. How can you navigate to previous page? That previous page means this browser back button. Clicking on the browser back button. How can you do that? How can you simulate that in the Selenium WebDriver? So this is the one you need to call back method on the navigate method. So the syntax is driver.navigate method.back method. How can you navigate to previous page? If anybody asks you, the answer you have to give is driver.navigate method.back method. So this forward method, you want to forward icon, you want to click. How can you simulate in the Selenium? So you have to use driver.navigate method.forward method. Then refresh method. So how can you refresh? This is the refresh icon. Can you see this? How can you click on this refresh icon in Selenium WebDriver in the code? So driver.navigate method.refresh method you have to call. These are the navigation methods. Then what is the difference between get of URL and navigate of method? So get of URL method doesn't allow driver to access browser history, whereas navigate method will allow the driver to access the browser history and navigate to the given URL. That's the main difference. One will allow the browser history, one will not allow the browser history. Navigate method will allow the browser history. Get of URL doesn't allow the browser history. So you cannot navigate back and forward using get method, while you can do the same with the navigate method. So there is no specific method for refresh a web page in a get method, while navigate method provides a method called refresh method. So you have a refresh method here.
అంటే కింద ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది బకెట్ లో.
So how will you refresh a page using get method? You can refresh a page using get method by calling a get method twice. You call the get method twice, driver.get of URL. One more time you call driver.get of URL. So 2 times if you call, you can navigate, but you can do the refresh. But with the navigate, you have directly refresh with it. So that is this navigation methods. So till now, 3 types of methods we have seen. Browser methods, first one. What are all the browser methods? Driver.get of URL. It will open the given URL on the browser. It will load the application URL in the browser. That's a syntax, driver.get of URL. You have to start with HTTPS or HTTP. Get title. So this will fetch the current page title. So driver.get title, which returns a string type data, string t equal to driver.get title. Fetch the current page address for URL. This URL, if you want to get it, then you need to use get current URL method. String current URL equal to driver.get current URL method. So you want HTML source code of this page. So string source code equal to driver.get page source. Or you want to get the current window ID. Every window has a unique UID. How can you get current window ID? String PID equal to driver.get window handle. How can you fetch multiple window IDs that are opened by WebDriver? Set string handles equal to driver.get window handles. These are all the, and also close method, quit method. These are all browser methods. Switch to methods. You can switch to the window, you can switch to the frame, you can switch to the alerts. How can you switch to the window? First call get window handle method, then call get window handles method. Then you need to call get driver.switch to method dot window method of window ID. See, first day class methods, again you are going to reuse multiple times. Okay. Next, how can you switch to the frames? driver dot switch to method dot frame of string frame locator, or frame of int index, or frame of web element name you can pass. Next, navigate methods. Sorry, how can you switch to the alerts? So alert interface alt equal to driver dot switch to method dot alert method. That's all switch to methods. Navigate methods. So driver dot navigate method dot to of URL. It will navigate to given URL from current page. And how can you navigate to previous page? Driver dot navigate method dot back method. How can you navigate to next page? Driver dot navigate method dot forward method. How can you refresh the page? Driver dot navigate method dot refresh. Do you need to read this, Andy? I already repeated twice. Do you really need to read this? How simple see these methods. Okay, so that's all about navigate methods, switch to methods. If you put a concentration on this, I don't think so. You need to read them. So simple and nice methods they have given. These are testing terminologies. Method names are testing terminology methods. Okay, next. So till now, I was talking only on the browser level. Now I am entering into the web page inside. Till now, all the browser level. Now I am entering into the web page inside. That is identifying the web elements. So what are all the web elements? What are all web elements?
ID, name, class.
Those are web elements, sir. Sir, basics first learn, sir. Learn the basics first. I'm not asking locators. I'm not asking locators. Locators is too far to web elements. Web elements is not related to Selenium. Web elements related to web applications. Web objects or web elements belongs to web applications. It's not related to any more Selenium. What are all web elements in the web pages?
Sorry, red box, check box, password red box, user red box,
sign in button, radio button.
Okay, anyhow, let me give you. So edit box, button, check box, radio button, drop down, list box, links, images, static text, header text, logos, menus. These are all the web elements. Okay, so how can you identify these web elements in the Selenium? You have to use find element method. So this method you need to pass a locator as an argument. So locators, as I mentioned very clearly, those are static methods. How can you call one class static method in another place?
Class name dot static.
Class name dot static. That's what C by dot locator of locator value. That's the argument for this find element method. So find element, see that meaning, find element. That means it is finding the first web element in the web page based on this locator value. Using this locator and locator value. See how meaningful. This method return type is web element interface. What is the return type of this method? This method returns a web element type interface. So web element element name equal to driver means browser dot find element by locator value. See, class name dot static method and the parameter value you are passing. See, in this browser, you are finding the element by locator and locator value. This method returns a web element. So this element, this variable data type is a web element interface. It is a data type for web